know, it's like 5 acres or so, maybe more. I think I mapped it out on my app. I mean, it's about 5. But if you've gone out and looked for soaproot at all, you might find it in like small patches here and there, in little crevices and gorges. A lot of times on north-facing slopes, and you don't really see. I haven't seen anything like this on this scale. And so it's a real special spot, and I can only imagine that our people in the past, you know, visited this spot. For these plants to really develop and as big as they are and as full as this area is, it had to be here for, you know, centuries like this. And so we're here in a special place that our people have been visiting for a long time, and so there's that good energy here today, and I think that we bring that and we're carrying that forward. So it's good to be a part of that. Soaproot was first introduced to me by my Auntie Lori. Sister, you know, the ground up bulb would be put into the water, infused into like this, not a flowing water, but like a still water, kind of like a pond or a lake or something. And the fish that are in that area would get stunned, and it would clog their gills somehow, and it would cause them to come to the surface, she said. And then the people would easily go in there and just take them, you know, right off the top of the water because they were stunned. Didn't harm the meat at all, she said, but that's one way that the people caught the fish, you know. And if I've spent some time fishing, and you know, sometimes it takes a long time to catch a fish, so it could be pretty hard. This was like a cheat code, you know, kind of. So it just speaks to their ingenuity, I think, you know, our people's ingenuity. And so today, as we gather this, I think the one thing I would say is I've gathered it all different times of the year up here. Right now, this is the plant in front of us right here, by the way. Right now, you see the base. It kind of resembles somewhat of a yucca. That's it, because it's got these orange leaves here. It's not a yucca though at all. I think it's part of the lily family. But here's the base, and then this is the stalk. And then on this stalk, you see a lot of flower pods. And they haven't really opened yet, but some of them probably are. As we walk around, we might see them. They open white flowers, kind of like a little lily flower.
This is my daughter, Clover Swan. She's from Soboba. This is my daughter, Sunshine Swan. She's from Soboba. This is our little cousin, Violet Chico. She's from Soboba. And I don't know, is that everybody? Oh, Monica. That's Monica Herrera. But yeah, so thank you all for coming. And so we were trying to get somebody to come out here and teach us, and then we ran into Dan, and he was like, oh, I know a spot. Or not Dan, I'm sorry, Adrian. And he was like, I know a spot. Me and my brother Dan found it, and I was like, okay, cool. So we last year was our first time up here, and they brought us up here and they showed us, and it's something that we wanted to do with our Shwamai, was just bring back like cultural revitalization here in Soboba, and just like more plant knowledge and uses and everything. So that was just kind of what I was specifically driven towards with this group.
Good. Whatever you have in your area. I have some mesquites in my yard. I made some out of mesquite. Even use red chain. Just different hardwoods I think were pretty good. Sharpen the point a little bit, not too sharp, but just as a dull point. It helps you kind of dig. You want to dig on the left and the right of the plant, but give yourself maybe about 4 inches so you don't really scrape the bulb. You don't want to hurt the bulb. Dig to the left, dig to the right, and then if you need to, go on the other side, dig to the left, dig to the right in a square pattern kind of. And then once you get it, the bulb exposed, then you want to try to pop the bulb off of the root. Sometimes they don't come off, the root will come out with it, and that happens, but you kind of want to, there's a way that, and it doesn't always happen. I couldn't say that I do it every time like that, but sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, you know, where the root stays in the ground. But I don't ever feel too bad about it. I'll cut it and then throw the root back in. I think it'll grow. Bulbs are pretty resilient. So something that has a real skinny stalk, not a really full. Sometimes the base can fool you. It can be really full, and then you think, like early spring when you don't have this and you see just a really full base, you start digging it up and you realize, it's not really a good sized bulb. Cover it back up if you don't like it. Leave it alone, it'll be fine. And then just go to the next one. But right now we have this as a gauge to be able to tell what size the bulb might be. This is pretty good. They get bigger. As you go out there, you'll see some that are maybe like 7 foot tall, maybe. we started looking around a little further and realized, wow, this place is huge. So it's a special place for us. We've been coming out here ever since. It's been pretty good for us. So I'm excited for all you guys to be here today and everything that we can share here today. So what we'll do is we'll get started digging one out.
You can pass that around.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, we'll see people passing by all the time up here.
Riding bikes. Immediately around this area, before reservations were established, you know, the villages all scattered throughout these hills, valleys, everywhere, all this time. And there's a village called Karoba, which is, we passed it coming in a little ways down the hill, and I think that the people from Karoba, some of my relatives come from that village, and I know Harry's as well, and others, Bear. Aiva is another one that comes off the other side of this mountain here, that I'm sure the people were from that village were here as well, you know. Probably the people from the past, I could almost see Malki over there, so probably they were here too, you know. I mean, don't think of the extent of our land usage is just confined to reservation boundaries. You know, our people were all over this land, so it's good to be out here again. But look, without going any further, let's go ahead and dig this out. Okay. If you guys look right now, you can start to see the fibers. That's the top of the neck of the plant. The bulb is going to be down further, but you'll start to see the fibers starting to show little hairs.
Yes.
Okay. Back in the day, I heard they called us diggers. Probably because of this.
Yep.
Funny, I just kept thinking all day, oh, a bunch of diggers out there. Well, it's gonna be my... It looks like little coconut.
There's a plant there. You can go like this. That's how I get the fibers off. Loosen those layers up. You take the fibers, put those aside. You get down to this bulb right here. See that little piece right there? When it breaks off like that, that's nice, but I always put them back in.
Right on.
Cover it back up.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of beads, but these are not look like beads.
Gotta get some out there? Huh? Gotta get some out?
Yeah.
I have to stick that. I know.
Jeez, what's my eyeballs? Go ahead, go.
Batman tool?
The Batman.
These little rocks down here like to grow around the roots.
Where's that deep?
Let's get some of this out of here. So you can see it.
No. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dang, let me see the rock, little.
Okay, put it over there. Oh. Dang, it's still way down deep in there, huh?
I think.
You see it?
Yeah. No. I know how to do it. Like this.
You got it?
Oh my god, that's way deep. That was way deep.
Way deep in there, huh?
Got two down. Right, Dad?
Yep.
No, no.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What's this? What? Dad.
That are kind of dirty, you can take a pair of scissors and cut those right there so that you take these fibers that are dirty out of it on those, and you can still use the material that will come out of this part, the white part. Stuff that can be scraped off, and that's what we're going to render down for the glue to pass around. You see it's almost like a 1/16 of an inch thick on there, and every layer has that. That's the soap. Hobby plant or whatever, about like this, and started wrapping it. That's all going to get covered anyways, so I just started wrapping it up. You can get real intricate with it. Some of these brushes here that I made out of Mojave yucca have like a huicha, dog's bane, like a cordage that I use because it's going to be seen, it's visible, so I wanted it to look a little nicer. That's the finished product. So there's different, as far as the shape and the style, how you want to make your brush, it's all up to you. You know, you just be creative with it. Hardens in there, that's okay. What I do is I put a little bit of water inside of it, just enough to kind of give it some moisture, and then I put it in a boiling pot of water and bring it up, kind of like you would with a baby bottle, right? Like you heating it up like that. And then just keep it stirring, add a little water if you need to get that consistency back, and then you can reuse it at that point. So if it's hard, it's not like the end of the day, you know, you can use it and rehydrate them layer by layer. Before, what I had been doing and what I had initially learned was just cut this bulb right here, throw that whole bulb in a boiling pot of water, and let it boil for a little bit, and then just grind that whole thing up like that. But inside of each layer, you have some of that trapped dirt that then kind of gives it like a tinge, you know, like a dirty tinge to your glue. But although they all start off really white, where's that one we cut from? Oh, you got it, man? They eventually end up like this, from the oils on your hand or whatever it might be. So just know that, you know. So if it's not that big of a deal to you to have it really white, don't worry about that.
Do a small, maybe about 2 or 3 wraps, and then what you do is you pick up each layer like this, and you put your glue in there, and then you can do about 3 layers of glue in between each row of hair, and then you massage it in there on the insides too, so that way the glue will be in all the hair, so that way when it dries, it'll have that coating around it. So sometimes when we do it, if they're not massaged in well enough, when it dries it kind of looks like old wrinkly skin. But that's just because the glue is still trying to get into the hairs and everything. So we do, you wrap it, and then you layer it, and then you massage all of that glue in, and then you let that dry. And once it's dry, we just wet our hands and we just smooth it out, you know, with your hands. The glue, when you wet the glue, it'll smooth it out more. So after your first 5 or 6 layers, it'll be a little rough. But when you're finally with your last layer, you can just massage it all out and then make it nice and smooth like that. And that's just to make sure that you don't get the wrinkly look to it. Yucca or the dog bane, that I guess maybe it binds it better than the jute or the sinew, and so it just holds it a little bit more tighter. So we have, I brought a bag of some dog bane or huicha that I've already processed, and you can just make your cordage out of that if you want to. Try that way, or
there's some yucca here too.
Some yucca, or we have sinew too. So whatever you want to try using, you're more than welcome to. I also have
was using a strainer.
What's the screen
You
time?
know, just one of those round strainers that are like metal wire one, and you could take this and almost like a cheese grater, just kind of grate it on there, and it will keep all the fibers or extract the fibers, and then it will start oozing through the bottom. Once you build up a good, you know, chunk of it, you can just scrape that off. So that's another way. It's pretty fast. You take this thing and just use that metal strainer and grind it all up.
Probably needs more in there. But what it does is it smashes it all through, and so just the glue, the pulp comes out through the bottom right here. And so then I just scrape it off, and while these guys are still going leaf by leaf, I can have like a whole jar.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how I got the white out of it. I just cut all the hairs off the tops like this, and then I just put a bunch in here, and then twisted it around, and then it just comes out like that. And so it's a little bit easier than the other way. The only thing is that the hairs, the fibers of the petals will get stuck in here, and other than that, you just have to take them out. But yard sales, stuff in
Yeah.
and everything. Yeah, so I like to go to yard sales or Salvation Army or wherever and look at their appliance how much they can have.
Even better.
Like $1
The night?
Yeah.
And then you wash it down.
You want all of that right there? Let's move on. And the owner just said, hey, why don't we just scrape it off? And so what I did right now, I just took the knife, went like that on both sides, and I got it all here. So it's good we get together like this, we're all sharing different ideas, you know, and we're learning. I guess that would be your first step before you start making the glue, because that'll start hardening. Just go ahead and take, just depending on what you want to make, what size you want to make and shape, take some. And what I do is I would take this little bunch down to the hose and wash it off real good. Trying to hold it in place so that all those curves stay where they are. And if you want it thicker, grab another one, put it over the top, incorporate it in. You want it wider, fan it out. Like Harry was saying, as you tie it, another one of those methods of keeping your brush really wide is you can even tie them in a bunch of little groupings and then tie those groupings together. And that way you have a nice wide brush. It's just all on what you want what you want to make. And so
If you have like your Mojave yucca with a needle on it still, and then I've seen how they make brooms, is you can just kind of weave it, like just kind of weave it through like that, back and forth, and then I'll keep your brush wide. So yeah,
yeah, just like how a broom is all in
Yeah.
the sheet. Yeah, how you want to make it. That's good.
So
Tell me you use it for jewelry too.
Right when she finished, yeah.
I gave them all away. I was like, I don't even know what happened.
I do the same thing.
I was like,
This is all I have left of all the brushes I've made, but I give.
So when one other thing is when we start working with these, they're full of dirt and clay. So what we like to do is you have to get these clean, right? So we have a bucket over here full of combs, different combs.
It's those last layers that you'll probably want to get to where it's down to just pure ground up material, you know, nothing like real chunky. But just go ahead and put it on there. Take some more. Look how much comes off like this. Good idea, though.
Why did you tell? Because say, why didn't you tell me sooner?
Yeah, you watch me do it the hard way.
There it is.
And then put it on there. Where's that water right there? So what Carrie was saying about the water, that's a good point, because I catch myself doing that a lot too. Once it gets kind of thick, I'll dip my finger in the water and then I'll just kind of run it over it, and it gives it a nice kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but it kind of smooths it, yeah. So like that.
Evens everything out, yeah, and slides.
So these first couple layers that you're putting on though, it's okay to have some of that chunky material in there.
Yeah, kind of rough.
And then, you know, maybe at the last couple, just try to get just the glue. Or I would probably scrape it off like this, and then just take that right here and smash it up with the rock. Try to smash down some of those chunky parts, incorporate it.
The young ladies at the gathering of us at Noli, and I was really excited to know that you guys have a spot to go to somewhere, so I figured